Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving into a major, absolutely game-changing shift in how we all operate. We're talking about moving away from being just standard chatbot users to becoming full-on AI managers, all thanks to the massive 2026 ChatGPT Work update. So if you've been doing all the heavy lifting while your AI just, spits out rough drafts, get ready because your entire workflow is about to change. Okay, let's run through our roadmap for this masterclass really quick. We're going to cover 1. The shift to deliverables, 2. Setting up for success, 3. Writing the perfect brief, 4. Plugins, tools, and skills, 5. The ultimate desktop agent, and finally, 6. Staying in control. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the shift to deliverables, moving from answers to files. So for years, our gut instinct has literally been to ask a question, read a response, and then copy-paste that answer to go do the actual work ourselves. Well, we need to completely kill that instinct right now. The fundamental shift here is this. You give the AI an outcome, you literally walk away, and it hands you back a finished file. We're talking a working Excel spreadsheet or a fully formatted presentation deck. It gathers the info, plans out the steps, and just finishes the job for you. You now essentially have 3 distinct modes at your fingertips. Chat is for your quick back-and-forth brainstorming. Work, which runs on the new GPT 5.6 model, is for producing those finished materials we just talked about. And Codex is specifically for developers. And actually, what's super funny about this is that OpenAI basically built this new work mode because millions of non-programmers were hijacking the developer tool just to get their everyday spreadsheets finished.
Moving right along to Section 2, setting up for success, the desktop rule.
To actually unlock this crazy power, you absolutely must install the brand new desktop app. And note, this is completely separate from the old ChatGPT Classic app you probably already have. Notice how the capabilities really build up here. Your phone and web browser are fine for starting and checking on tasks, sure, but they are severely limited. Only the desktop app gives you the raw power to read local files, use the built-in browser, and tap into the crazy new computer use feature. Think of it kind of like this. Use your phone as a remote control when you're out on a coffee run just to steer a task, but rely completely on your desktop as your actual heavy lifting workshop. That is exactly where the magic of reading your local folders happens, without even having to upload them. But listen, before you go firing off a dozen tasks, you really need to hear this warning. At launch, work tasks that you start on the web will absolutely not sync to your desktop work threads. Regular chat conversations sync just fine, but your desktop work threads and your local files, those stay exclusively on the computer where they were created. All right, Section 3, writing the perfect brief. How to delegate like a true manager. Your whole communication style has to evolve here. You aren't just a user searching for a recipe anymore. You are a manager delegating tasks. So if you type a super vague commands like, make me a competitor analysis, you are going to get an underwhelming, totally generic paragraph that is essentially useless for real business. Instead, your new delegation briefs need these 4 key ingredients every single time. Define the exact outcome, point it to precise sources or local folders, list specific constraints like tone and format, and crucially, step 4. Setting the review criteria is literally the ultimate cheat code. This tells the AI exactly how you are going to judge its final work. Almost nobody does this, but starting today, you will. Put all 4 of those steps together, and your prompt should look a lot more like this. Notice how it explicitly names the competitors, specifies grabbing data from pricing pages and blog posts, asks for a spreadsheet formatted with specific columns, and requests a 1-page summary flagged for any uncertainties. Doing this guarantees you get a perfectly formatted, highly useful file. Which brings us to Section 4, plugins, tools, and skills, empowering the intern. So even with a perfect brief, an empty ChatGPT Work setup is basically just a brilliant intern locked in an empty room with no outside access. We have to connect it to your daily operations. But please don't go connecting all 1,400 available plugins. That is total overkill. Just connect the essentials, your files, your team chat, your email, and your calendar. Just those 4 will cover about 80% of everything you'll ever need it to do. Next up, skills. This right here is what's going to save your sanity. It stops you from constantly repasting your brand guidelines or your annoying data cleaning steps into every single new chat. It saves your preferred format permanently, so you can generate your weekly updates flawlessly, your exact way every single time. Now for the really fun stuff. Section 5, the ultimate desktop agent, browser and computer use. First up is the built-in desktop browser. And no, this is not just some simple web scraper. We're talking full tabs, sign-ins, autofill, and even extension support. This integration actually killed OpenAI's standalone Atlas browser because the team realized you don't really need a completely separate browser. You just need the assistant to be able to see exactly what you see right there on your screen. And then we reach a truly wild feature, computer use. Running quietly in the background, the agent can literally take the wheel. It will click, type, and navigate through your clunky internal software on your behalf. So if there isn't a neat plugin for some legacy desktop app your company still uses, no problem. The AI can just manually click through it exactly like a human would. But listen, with great power comes incredible risk. I literally cannot stress this safety heads up enough. There is absolutely no sandbox here. When it clicks, it is clicking on your real machine. This means you need to start with low-stakes tasks and absolutely never ever point it at banking, health portals, or anything irreversible. That perfectly tees up Section 6, staying in control, superpowers, and guardrails. Because we now have an agent physically clicking around your screen, your immediate instinct is going to be to turn off action approvals. They start to feel super annoying after a week of clicking yes constantly. But you have to resist that urge. Keep them toggled on for anything involving money, permanent deletions, or sending messages. Speed is not the goal here. The goal is not accidentally booking 40 flights on the corporate card or having to unsend a hallucinated email to 40,000 customers. To manage this whole thing properly, rely on these 3 safety nets. First, use plan mode so you can review its step-by-step logic before it touches anything. Second, set up milestone check-ins so it pauses and asks for guidance when it gets stuck. And third, mandate those final action approvals. Implementing these 3 things makes you the ultimate responsible manager of your new AI worker. Well, we've covered a ton of ground today in this explainer. You've seen the complete paradigm shift from simple text chats to actual, finished deliverables. You know the vital importance of jumping on the desktop setup, the 4 ingredients for writing perfect briefs, and the critical guardrails to keep your system safe and highly productive. So, I want to leave you with a final, provocative thought today. Now that ChatGPT Work can literally do the heavy lifting, navigating clunky apps and building full spreadsheets for you, what incredible things are you going to build with all your newfound free time?